woman. I don't do that texting stuff. Straight grown behind woman. I don't got time for that texting stuff. Anyway, greetings and salutations. Like I said, I don't do text. It'll keep on going. This phone has got somebody's nerve. Phone. What is wrong with this phone?
I don't know, Mom.
That's why I said call. I don't do that text message stuff. I'm gonna be I'm live. Gonna share some updated news from Mrs. Mayor Lightfoot. I think that's her name, Lightfoot. Mayor Darkfoot. Okay. And I'm not talking about the Blackfoot tribe. You better come on and hear me today. Y'all better hear me. Y'all better pay attention out here. Chicago out there, Alex. Chicago. What happened? I'm finna tell y'all what's finna happen out here. Hold up. Published on December 23rd as of the year 2021. Breaking news from Forbes. Shout out to Forbes News. Chicago Mayor Lightfoot announces proof of vaccination to access public indoor spaces for ages 5+ out there in Chicago. Pay attention, family. Pay attention.
Vaccination. It's time.
Listen at her.
If you wish to live life as normally as possible, with the ease,
I want you to look.
Love, you must.
Can I say something real quick? You never trust people who don't got eyebrows. I'm not being rude or I'm not being simple.
I think that's a wig.
But no, that's her. Okay. Don't really be too fond of people that don't got, even if you ain't got a life, like, even if your eyebrows are a little light, it's nothing wrong with you coloring in a little bit of eyebrows. See what I'm saying? Take my word for advice for it. But that's really strange. Not only that, but she's giving you a female. First of all, when women get into the work field and do certain positions where you're working for, like, city officials, why do you have to be a woman dressed as a man? Why can't you be a woman? Why you got to look like a man? Secondly, she got the shimmy going on. Not only a man, but what kind of man? A Caucasian man. This kind of hairstyle is the kind of hairstyle you see on a Caucasian man. If you just cover this up, you wouldn't know you were looking and color it in some like pink and peaches with an undertone, high tone of red. You would think you're looking at a Caucasian man. Pay attention. She got this little shimmy going on, but that's not a here nor there. Listen what she's saying. This is important. Chicago.
Be vaccinated in the city of Chicago starting January 3rd. This health order may pose an inconvenience to the unvaccinated, and in fact is inconvenient by design.
So their intention is to be an inconvenience to the unvaccinated.
Under this pandemic, with deadlier and deadlier variants continue to rise. Although we know that masking up.
So make it make sense for me, please, real quick. If deadly variants continue to rise, how is it that one vaccination is supposed to take care of this variant and all other variants? How does that make any sense? If it's a vaccination for this particular virus, how was one supposed to believe that it's supposed to cover other variants? Can y'all convince us on that?
Social distancing and vaccinations work to stem the spread and the severity of COVID-19 infections. This is what we have to do to keep our health system from becoming overwhelmed by this new wave. As with any health order, the Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection will be fully and readily available to assist our businesses to adjust to this change, but also to make sure that there's compliance. Businesses seeking more guidance should visit chicago.gov/reopening. That's chicago.gov/reopening. They can also attend webinars that will be hosted by BACP to provide an overview of this new requirement, just as BACP did throughout the pandemic in 2020, to make sure that you are up to speed on what.
Don't trust a female who has lost her nature as being a female, who has no eyebrows and has given you the hair that looks like a man. She is a white man's puppet. She is the hell. What her name? Mayor Lightfoot. There is no light in her, and her steps is going and leading into the direction of darkness. I want all of you mayors, governors, health officials, presidents, employers, I need you all to know is that the blood of every person that you encourage to go against the laws of the Creator is upon your hands, and you shall give an account for every order that you stand by that opposes the laws of the Creator.
What this means for you, what the implications are for your business, and so you can provide us with feedback, and we can adjust and make any adjustments that are necessary to accommodate business concerns. And to be clear, the new order that we are announcing today has been done.
The new order that we are announcing today, I need you to hear me today. The new order, is this chocolate on my mouth? I had some chocolate. Pardon me. The new order that we are announcing today. Take it back just a little bit. Perhaps you might have missed it.
Overview of this new requirement, just as BACP did.
New requirement.
Throughout the pandemic in 2020, to make sure that you are up to speed on what this means for you, what the implications that are for your business, and so you can provide us with feedback, and we can adjust and make any adjustments that are necessary to accommodate business concerns. And to be clear,
when she said give us feedback of any business concerns, it really isn't business concerns. It's basically all jobs would have to notify a bigger system to identify those who are not going to be in compliance with those who might need to make sure they have come in contact with a needle of some sort.
The new order that we are announcing today has been done after collaboration and dialogue with all the various stakeholders that are being affected by this. Commissioner Myers
new order
to go into further details on resources and supports.
Happy so-called New Year for you.
Our ongoing vaccination
unwrap that early gift
effort that can and must be utilized to meet this moment. Get yourself vaccinated. The vaccine is readily available. It is at pharmacies. It is at our stand-up sites. You can get it through your own personal physician. You can get it at the myriad of federally qualified healthcare clinics that are available.
So for your sakes, I will put a cry in the ships of the Chaldeans. Let me tell you something. Everywhere it is readily available, there shall be a readily plague against it. There shall be a readily Most High's hand against it. Know that there is a war against the humanity and the creation, the original design of the Most High's creation that Satan is waging
throughout our city. But you've got to get yourself vaccinated.
Chicago, they got tired of the typical, let's keep giving them guns to kill each other. Y'all ain't killing each other fast enough. Now I'm going to need y'all to go from killing each other to officially every single one of you kill yourselves. This is what it is at this point, family. Pay attention.
Residents can go visit chicago.gov/COVID-vax to find an FQAC.
Chicago's probably the trial. Other cities will be. I think New York is already already doing this.
Or city-run vaccination site. That's chicago.gov/COVID-vax. You can also get a vaccine at home. We have available appointments still this week. You can find that on the same website, or you can always call 311. You can also get your vaccines and booster shot at your doctor's offices and local pharmacy. Once again, I'd like to thank our residents who have thus far received their COVID-19 vaccine and booster shots. Thank you for your diligence and care for the safety.
Now, we talked about diligence today. If you need to know any information on diligence, you can simply go on down there to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 1. No, I'm busy right now. Fail where? The tall one? I'll be in there. Okay, pick up everything and I'll be in there. In Deuteronomy chapter 20. All right, I'm busy, Zebediah. Thank you. In Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 1 and 2, he said, if you will diligently hearken to the voice of the Creator. Now, are you going to listen to the voices of these puppets here? A woman who's lost her simple nature, who has no eyebrows and was doing the shimmy as she was talking. You might not have seen the shimmy, but if you tune in on your own screen, mobile device, or your television, or however, whatever screen that provides you this information here, you will look closely. She's giving you that senior citizen shimmy. And if she's promoting it, she wouldn't be able to stand where she's at and say it had she not have done it herself. Nobody knows if they're getting the same dosage that they're causing everyone else to get. But the point of the matter is, pay attention, Chicago. Let's see. Now, I know it's New York so far and Chicago. So let's see what other cities, because remember in the scriptures, if you are aware, in the book of 2nd Esdras, it talks about, I believe, chapter 14, chapter 13, 14, 15, 16 are specific chapters concerning the end times, the last days. Shalom, my beloved brother, born Savior. Some people in the CDC haven't taken. Isn't that quite interesting? It's quite interesting. It talks about the last days in the book of 2nd Esdras, okay, which is one of the books that has been taken out of your typical KJV agenda pushed Bible. I say agenda push because this book, which only has 66, is provided to you that way so that they can push the agenda of mentioned to you in Revelations chapter 12, verses 9, and the enemy, the dragon, the devil, deceived the whole world. The whole world's been deceived. The only ones that's going to find the truth are those who have been quickened by the Holy Spirit. Okay. Now, this thing right here, this thing right here, this Mayor Lightfoot thing. I say thing because I can't call it a woman, because the word of the Most High also says that you judge a person by their outward appearance. So if a woman's looking like this, am I going to get a woman according to as the fashion as was created? She's going to keep a house, birth children. No, she's not your typical woman. This is what you call a puppet, Edom made woman. This is the kind of woman that Esau makes. You want to work for me? You want to work for the government? This is how I need you to look. It's either this for brown version or it's either Hillary, the Caucasian version. But at the end of the day, they want the women to not look like men. To women. They don't want the women to look like women. They want the men to be more effeminate or even more childlike with their faces shaved. Everything in this whole kingdom is out of order. But pay attention, Chicago. They just told you you're going to need proof for vaccination to enter any places such as bars, restaurants, theaters, or gyms, any place where it's recreation. Even the bank. Do we see where we're going now? Now, I'm going to give you other nations a hint of what happened to our ancestors during the times of slavery. If you haven't seen the movie Harriet Tubman, in this particular movie, when she was fleeing and she was told by the sister up north how to, dodge being caught fleeing down south to free more slaves, she also stated that, hey, when you go down there, they're going to ask you for papers. So she had to give her a fake papers, which was papers of proof that she was free. She didn't have papers. She would have been locked up, or not locked up, sent back to a plantation, or, arrested. And in other words, captured. So nowadays, it is, where's your evidence of vaccination? This is the new form of proof to be a citizen amongst society. And she also stated in here that hold up. She also stated that, pardon this ad, that she said people who are not vaccinated are a higher risk and basically a problem. Listen at her.
Frustrating, and it's exhausting. But I'm going to tell you what, we all have to strap back on the armor. We've all got to do what is necessary to protect ourselves, our families.
Now she's talking about armor, but the scriptures talk about put on the full armor of the Most High, whereby you be able to withstand the wiles of the enemy. I'm not gonna put the enemy's armor on if the enemy is opposing me. I can't. Just like when Saul told David, "Here, put this armor on." David said, "I can't put this on. I'm a young boy. I'm a young man. I can't even fit this. I need to be able to move." Beetlejuice, that part. He went and fought in the manner of what he put on was his faith, which was a shield. He had a shield. But she just said we all. So when they say we all, and also she just said this, we're announcing this new order. So listen to the key words in what she's saying. We all, new order. Sound familiar to you? Could she remind you of something? And who is addressing this, rather man or female? Always remember, female comes out of man. So when it's addressing man, it's the same as female. So if female wants to be the spokesperson for this nonsense, that's exactly what she looked like. Good way to put it, brother. That's exactly what she looked like. If it still has its born, you know what I'm saying? I said, look at this thing here. Was doing the grandma shimmy. No eyebrows. Hair looking like a Caucasian man. Let me tell you something. I've always was disgusted. I look down upon women who put on the nature of man. Disgusting. You're disgusting. I look at you like, you're disgusting. There's nothing more great than being a woman. If you were born a woman, be the woman that you were born to be. If you were born a man, be a man. Stay in your lane.
Our livelihoods, our city. The last thing in the world that I want to do is stand before you at a podium like this and announce that we're shutting our city back down.
Right.
That would be devastating. I don't want to have to take that steps. But again, it really depends on the unvaccinated. If you know someone in your family, in your friends network, or just that you know.
Matthew 24, and family and people shall betray one another, turning you over, offering you up.
That is unvaccinated. Go to them. Talk to them. Listen. Send them to the CDPH website. Send them to the CDC to get information. Talk to them about what it would take.
Well, you need to start with the CDC then, since some of them ain't doing it. Start with the CDC and do that amongst the people. Since we got to hear from the CDC on their recommendations and all this in the third, they got such a mouth. Let's see how much mouth they got when we asked about them some people who didn't want to get theirs. Let them be the first ones in line, them and their children.
To get them to stop being hesitant and get vaccinated. This new Omicron.
Y'all need to pay attention to the shimmy shaking she got going on. Look.
It is scary. And we're seeing lots of cases in places that we hadn't seen before. We're seeing a lot of breakthroughs. Luckily, most of the people that are experiencing breakthroughs are suffering mostly mild symptoms. But folks, we've got to strap back on that armor.
Ew, don't talk to me about no strapping and you look like a whole man.
Of the pandemic in 2020. That is what's going to be needed for the next couple of months to get through.
She's even speaking with her hands in a masculine way.
I'm begging you, do everything on your part to make sure that you are being safe, that the people in your household are being safe, and that you're doing.
So if we're doing everything we're supposed to do in our household according to being safe, does not we have a say so in the matter of that? Is not our cultural, spiritual, righteous stance on that have a say in the matter, or is it just according to what you say is safe? Somebody putting something in somebody's body unwillingly is what you call rape, correct? But what happens before the rape, or what you say, a pedophile? He works on the target, takes them out for getting ice cream goodies, and takes them for rides, and strokes their hair, and wants them to sit on their lap. This is what the government's doing to everybody. You trying to play us like the little kid in the playground, the cheerleader on the field, the young man in the Catholic church. Come on, somebody hear me today. Grandma Rock. This is what you're doing. I don't like it. I feel harassed. I'm feeling verbally harassed, influentially attacked.
Everything that you can to reach those folks who still haven't gotten the memo that the safest, best way to protect yourself is with the vaccine.
Well, there you have it. The safest way is with the vaccine. That's out of this Mayor Lightfoot just stated. The safest way to protect your family is by the vaccine. So if they're giving you their stance on what they feel is best for you, and you be in some form of opposition to that, to what their these city officials and CDC and all these other health administration, people's standard, then where do you think they put you? Oh, you don't want to comply. You want to be insubordinate, huh? Can we see where we're going, family?
With that, I'd like to ask Dr. Arwady to come to the podium for
sorcerer, whatever his name was, in other words. When you hear doctor, just hear sorcerer, okay?
Thank you, Mayor. So,
wait a minute. Standard precautions, ma'am. Nobody has on a mask. Everybody else is still wearing masks, but they don't have masks on. Oh, okay. I get it. I see.
And everybody in Chicago knows somebody who has COVID right now, because we are in the middle of the biggest COVID surge that we have seen since before vaccines were available. I want to highlight.
She needs to be giving us a health scare. Her hair looks thinned. Her face looks another thing that looks, it gives you female, but it gives you masculine. What spirit is this, family? What spirit are they operating in? You can't trust these kind of people. What health issue do you have while your hair is thinning out at the top? What's going on? And I'm not picking on nobody may have a health issue, but you're a doctor and you can't even maintain hair extensions, sweetheart.
Some data to really to explain why this is a step that needed to be taken now and what we continue to monitor. So first, our travel advisory. It is not just here in Chicago, but across the country that COVID and the Omicron variant are surging. There are just 2 states, South Carolina and Louisiana, that right now are not on the travel advisory. I wouldn't be surprised if the whole country is orange by next week. I want to
notice when they mention COVID and Omicron. So if you mention these within their own separate, subjects, and their own viral spread of infection, then how is somebody supposed to believe by getting the COVID vaccination that it covers the Omicron variant?
Highlight that in Louisiana, New Orleans in particular, was one of the first cities in a.
What did the Creator tell the children of Jacob when he said in Jeremiah concerning your wounds and all your bombs and everything will not heal you? See, what the nations, specifically Edom, what you need to understand is that after the 400 years is up, he said he's going to judge you. He said he's going to judge that nation. So everything he told us in the books of Jeremiah, Lamentations, and Deuteronomy concerning the prophets about when he was rebuking the children of Jacob before we were spread, he said, I'm going to scatter you. I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do that to you. I'm going to take your children shall be so your crops is going to be spoiled and all this he said that happened to us is going to happen to y'all. If we sit back and look at the overlay of what y'all had what's going on, they don't want to show everything on the news other than this virus. What else is happening? Your money, you're having inflation. Everything's going on. You're sick, America. No, Edom and all you participant nations. The reason why it's a global issue is because globally, the nations had the children of Jacob in captivity. That's what it is. The Creator is whipping, tearing that thing up. So it doesn't matter about your balms and your healing medicines. None of it will help you. All right?
The country that often is not as quick to take these sort of essential requirements. They put these same requirements in place for people to be vaccinated, or in some cases,
this is pathetic.
When they were in the middle of their worst surge over the summer.
Anybody ever watch, what's that show, the Hot Seat? And you see that one female all of a sudden, she has a skirt on. She has a whole skirt on. Like, why can't women represent being a woman?
Here's what the numbers look like here in Chicago. As you heard the mayor say, we are averaging nearly 1,800.
Now, they're addressing their numbers upon pagan rituals. Okay? So every time they come together, they're comparing this, the Thanksgiving from last year to the Thanksgiving of this year. Okay? Last Thanksgiving and this Thanksgiving. Last Christmas and this Christmas. Let's go ahead and give a hypothesis. Last year's New Year's Eve, this year's New Year's Eve. What are you seeing? Every time they gather around the rituals and the traditions of man, death arises. Because why? That's what happens when you obey man. This is what happens when you're operating and participate in the traditions of man. While you're trimming your tree, you're carving your turkey, and you're glazing your ham. And you're happy and a merry and a all this and the third. This is what's happening. The Creator is smacking you down. I just shared with you earlier, when you keep the feast days of the Creator and obey his word, he blesses you. So every time y'all gather around these rituals, okay, I get it, right. You think that Thanksgiving is just about celebrating, giving thanks and all that in the third, and then you turn around. Christmas is all about remembering when the baby Jesus is born. No, stop, okay? That's what you were told. Truth behind it all is you have been deceived, okay? The heathen, the pagans, the Satan worshipers, the rulers of darkness in high places have convinced all people to, not convinced, they have manipulated and tricked all people to participate in their rituals. And even if you are ignorant and participant in a ritual, you're still part of a ritual. It don't matter if you're aware of it or not aware of it. If you go to a ritual party with a bunch of witches and sorcerers and they tell you, hey, it's going to be a costume party, just dress up, it's for Halloween, but you really going to a whole wide satanic ritual party, and they go say, we got a cake, and then they take the thing off and it's a whole chop somebody's head or a baby's guts or something like that. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's getting a little strange. They're like, yeah, this is what we do. And every year we invite a new person to see how they'll try it. If they don't like it, if they have a problem, we know that we got to destroy you. That's just what it's all about. It's the same thing. The history behind how America got this place goes to show you how satanic they are. They actually celebrate the slaughter, the bloodshed, the thievery, the rape, and the robbery of the Aboriginals, the original people who were here. Then the very next day, they sold their brothers for the less, Black Friday. So all you participant merchants and businesses that participate in blacks, and you're cursed. There's a plague coming nigh you and your household.
Diagnoses every day.
Check my dinner.
On December 15th, we've had more than 2,800 cases diagnosed in a single day. That's almost the most we've ever had. And I expect within the next week to week and a half, we will see the highest number of COVID cases in the city that have ever been diagnosed. I expect we will see a little bit of a dip around Christmas, and then we will see a post-Christmas surge, just like we saw around Thanksgiving. And our concern is that we have a Delta surge now with this Omicron surge on top of it. Test positivity again, the highest it's been in a year. 7.3%.
Now tell me this.
Emphasize
if the vaccine
since last week.
Hold on.
1 week ago, we were at 4.1%.
If the vaccine is such the superhero Captain Planet, then tell me how when the year that you didn't have They're not. It's not ready. It's cooling off. All right. Wait till it's cool off, son. Give me some time. The year 2020, they didn't have the vaccine. I just told you it's not ready yet. Patience. You understand me? Don't be a hindrance. The pasta's not even done yet. Relax. Now, they released the vaccination this year, but yet the same year they released it and they have more people vaccinated this year than they did last year, the surges are still going up. So how does that make sense? You mean to tell me the numbers are going up, but your people are vaccinated? So you mean to tell me those who are not vaccinated are affecting more of those? It doesn't make sense. When last year you had less people vaccinated, but yet the deaths were lower, the numbers. Well, it was just starting off. Sure. Let's be fair. Don't just show us the numbers of this according to COVID. Whatever happened to the flu? Did the flu go on vacation? How about them cardiac arrests? Flu, cardiac arrest, and abortions. Gun violence. Overdose. Let's not forget about those, but never mind. Every death was all COVID. Compare the deaths of COVID to other deaths that have been swiping people out of here. Stop playing with us. We ain't stupid. What is the title of the video you are watching? Yes, this video is titled by Forbes Breaking News. Chicago Mayor Lightfoot announces proof of vaccination to access public indoor spaces for ages 5+, which means, why did they say 5+? Because that's school age as well, which means they released it in time. So children need to be vaccinated to attend school. That doesn't really affect my household because I don't really give a John Brown what my children be amongst that foolishness.
A week ago, we had 80% fewer cases. A lot.
In a few more minutes, I'm watching somebody finish the rest of my dinner.
Hospital capacity remains a major concern. Dr. Susan Bleasdale from the University of Illinois Hospital and Clinics, the Chief Quality Officer, and someone the health department partners with a lot. We'll be talking a little bit about the hospital capacity in just a moment. But I wanted to just highlight that across Chicago, non-ICU hospital beds with COVID-19 patients in them are at the highest census since January 2021, before vaccines were widely available. You see, they're not as high as they were at the peak of the first surge or the second surge, but we don't want to get there. Similarly, our ICU beds right now are at the highest census we've seen since January 2021. And we all know.
Listen to me, y'all. Don't fall for the hype. I sat there with my husband was in and out the hospital several times. He's diabetic and had other issues. When I went to the hospital just even this summer, the hospital was so chill. They always was gathering around the nurse's desk, laughing, kikiing, tossing salad, busting it up. They probably was knitting some blankets and stuff like that. Bringing in cookies they baked overnight. They was never overwhelmed. There was always parking. Not to mention that same hospital is getting shut down.
That hospitalizations lag behind these increases in cases. Where we look at our community transmission and risk matrix, we are at a very high transmission risk for cases per day. We have moved actually into the high transmission for.
Y'all, I encourage y'all to go watch this, and y'all just keep your family armored up by the word of the Creator. Yes, I said it, and I don't give a John Brown who got a problem with it. I really don't care. As far as I'm concerned, we gonna fear the Most High. We would rather obey the Most High rather than man. That's where we stand. Those who be the soldiers of the Most High. You stand up for the word of the Most High, and you don't even flinch at these heathen devil demons out here spitting this venom out their mouth, talking this foolishness here. This is foolishness, especially females who look like a man with no eyebrows doing the shimmy. How about that? And yes, good old fashioned Kim Potter out there, Miss Old Fashioned veteran over there in the police force out there in Minnesota. Yeah, guilty. Never mind what everybody else's little slick comments was talking about, and she was doing a good deed, and all this in the third, and this is in the third. Guilty. Her little Golden Girls outfit couldn't save her. Ain't it amazing how they look like a whole thug man when they being wicked, but then when you call them on and they want to come looking like a grandma with their little light dainty grandma sweaters on, looking like the Golden Girls. Even Derek Chauvin had so much to write, like he was writing a book while they were discussing what he did, like he got amnesia. People just crack me up with it. She really might be transgender. That's my point. She definitely might be transgender. That's what I'm trying to tell you. See, this is what the media and Hollywood is full of. People who changed their nature that the creator gave them from their sexual orientation, and now it's to try to completely change all creation. Let me go because my dog is back there acting a fool, and I got to finish my dinner, family. But y'all pay attention because it's going to happen with all the major cities. Watch. And it's going to be especially the major cities where majority of the children of Jacob is at. Edom, your time is up. It don't matter what you do, your time is up. And the most I got a grip on, you're going to keep squeezing at your neck. Sister, shalom to you as well, Maya. I'm sorry. Quiet, lady. All that racket. I got to go, y'all. We finna have our dinner and everything like that. Sip me some wine and celebrate that good old-fashioned Kim Potter, Harry Potter. I don't know what her name is. It really don't matter to me. But she'll be having a good old-fashioned time in jail. Her with the rest of them wicked ones. And y'all, let's also pray that the rest of them little 3 cops that was with Derek Chauvin, talking about they ain't want to be trial with Derek Chauvin and everything like that. Well, it don't matter how they get trial. We're going to pray the Most High bring the hammer down on them too. Because at the end of the day, you don't act like you don't want to be trial with him when you had no problem being right beside him when he had his knee on his neck. You didn't think about separating yourself by stopping him. So don't try to separate yourself when that hammer comes, you wicked devils. And your family members. See, what the creator's doing is he bringing the vengeance to the family members. We are speaking Psalms 109 to the households of these heathens. Transhumanism. Yep. Exactly. It's shalom, beloved. That's exactly what they're doing. Once they take your human right, once they take your human status, you don't get human rights. Keep up and pay attention to that. Are you gonna stay in the way he kept you when you was born? When the Most High sent his son, are you gonna be the same way he had created you? You gotta give an account for your body. Them ugly trans demons can't give an account for you. Keep it in mind. Love y'all. Shalom, shalom, peace. You want to, girl, bye. I love you, but not like that. You ain't looking me in my face. You be looking between your legs.